If you think buying a brand new home means zero problems, modern design, and stress-free living, you might be walking straight into one of the biggest property traps in the UK today. Developers are selling what I call paper houses, homes that look perfect in glossy brochures, feel luxurious in the show home, and promise energy efficiency and low maintenance. But behind the plasterboard and polished marketing, the reality can be very different. And today, I'm breaking down exactly how this new build machine works, who benefits, and how ordinary buyers get caught out. Welcome back to UK Housing Reality, where we cut through the marketing and talk about what's really happening in the UK property market. Let's start with the illusion. When you walk into a show home built by major developers like Barratt Developments, Taylor Wimpey, or Persimmon Homes, you're stepping into a staged experience. The lighting is warmer, the rooms feel bigger because the furniture is slightly smaller than standard. The garden looks neat, landscaped, and private. But what you're seeing is a marketing product, not necessarily the home you'll actually receive. Developers don't just build houses, they build perception. Red flag is price inflation. New builds often come with a premium, sometimes 5% to 20%, higher than comparable older properties in the same area. That premium isn't just for newness, it's for incentives disguised as generosity. Developers offer deposit contributions, free upgrades, or stamp duty paid. But here's the catch. They often inflate the asking price to cover those incentives. You think you're getting a deal? In reality, you're financing your own discount. Now let's talk about size. According to data from the Royal Institute of British Architects, new build homes in the UK are among the smallest in Europe. Developers maximize profit per square meter. That means thinner internal walls, tighter room dimensions, and smaller storage spaces. On paper, the house meets minimum standards. On paper, it's compliant. But in reality, you're paying more for less usable space. This is what I mean by paper houses. They look impressive in brochures. The floor plan looks efficient online. But when you actually live there, you realize the third bedroom barely fits a bed and wardrobe. The kitchen diner that looked spacious in CGI feels cramped when real furniture goes in. Then there's build quality. The Home Builders Federation publishes customer satisfaction surveys, claiming high approval ratings. But dig deeper into reports from the New Homes Ombudsman and consumer complaints, and you'll find recurring issues. Snagging problems. Poor insulation installation. Doors that don't close properly. Plumbing faults. Cosmetic defects rushed before completion deadlines. Why does this happen? Because developers operate on volume and speed. Large house builders answer to shareholders. Their model depends on rapid site turnover. The faster plots are sold and completed, the faster capital is recycled. That pressure filters down to subcontractors. Trades are often paid per plot. Speed over perfection. The result? Homes that technically pass inspection but hide long-term issues behind fresh paint. And here's another issue most buyers don't understand: estate management charges. Even if you buy freehold, you may still pay a private management company to maintain communal areas, drainage systems, or green spaces. Unlike council tax, these charges aren't capped or democratically controlled. They can increase, and you still pay full council tax on top. Many buyers don't realize this until after they've moved in. Let's also talk about leasehold houses. Yes, houses, not flats. In recent years, some developers sold houses on leasehold terms with escalating ground rents. Buyers later discovered their ground rent doubled every 10 years, making properties harder to sell or remortgage. While reforms have addressed some of these practices, the legacy still affects homeowners today. Another hidden risk is negative equity. Because new builds carry that initial premium. The moment you move in, your property becomes secondhand. If the market softens or interest rates rise, resale value can dip below what you paid. Buyers who stretched finances using help-to-buy schemes in previous years sometimes found themselves trapped, unable to sell without taking a loss. And let's not forget the surrounding infrastructure. Developments are often approved before schools, GP, surgeries, and transport links are fully expanded. Buyers move into what looks like a complete community, but construction continues for years. Noise, dust, unfinished roads, and temporary access routes can persist long after you get the keys. So why do people keep buying new builds? Because developers are masters of timing and emotion. First-time buyers are told, "This plot is almost gone. Prices will rise. Next phase. You need to reserve today." There's urgency built into the sales process. The reservation fee secures commitment before full due diligence. Sales staff aren't regulated estate agents, they work directly for the developer. Their loyalty is to the company, not the buyer. To be clear, Not every new build is a disaster. Some buyers have smooth experiences. But the structure of the industry creates incentives that don't always align with long-term homeowner satisfaction. Here's what smart buyers do differently. They never rely solely on the developer's recommended solicitor. They commission independent snagging inspections before completion. They compare price per square meter with nearby older homes. They research management fees. They ask what happens to unsold plots if the market slows. They check transport timelines, school capacity, and local planning applications. They treat the purchase like an investment decision, not just an emotional milestone. And here's something powerful. Older homes often offer thicker walls, larger gardens, established infrastructure, and room to add value through renovation. They may require cosmetic upgrades, but at least you can see what you're buying. With a new build, much of the quality is hidden behind plasterboard. The biggest misconception in UK property is that new means safe. In reality, safety comes from understanding contracts, valuation risk, construction standards, and resale demand. Developers aren't charities. They're publicly traded corporations designed to maximize shareholder return. Companies like Barrett Developments and Taylor Wimpey report billions in revenue. Their duty is to investors. Your duty is to yourself. If you're considering a new build, slow down. Remove the emotion. Analyze the numbers. Compare alternatives. Ask yourself, am I paying for genuine quality, or am I paying for marketing and convenience? Because once you exchange contracts, the leverage shifts away from you. And remember, this property is not just where you live. It's likely the biggest financial commitment of your life. A small miscalculation at purchase can echo for decades. That's why on UK Housing Reality, we don't chase hype. We examine the structure behind the headlines. If this video opened your eyes, hit like so more buyers see the reality. Subscribe to UK Housing Reality for honest breakdowns of what's really happening in the market. And comment below, have you experienced problems with a new build, or are you considering one right now? The housing market rewards the informed and punishes the rushed. I'll see you in the next one.